This is your host Austin, and you are listening to B&B Nightlight Radio. Tonight we have three special guests from the Association of State Dam Safety Officials here to discuss with you exactly what happened a few years ago on June 5th, 1976. For those that are not familiar, this was the date in which the Teton Dam, located in Rexburg, Idaho, collapsed, unfortunately killing 11 and injuring many more. Hopefully we can get a little more insight as to exactly what happened.
The Teton Dam failure was partly a result of several human factors. For instance, the Bureau of Reclamation had an overconfidence bias, which played a big role in the dam design. They previously built 50 successful designs, such as the well-known Hoover Dam. They had no reason to believe any dam they designed would fail. However, emotions rendered the exercise of observing the real issues. Geologists observed the real issue before the dam was built. They realized that the reservoir could have possible water seepage. Their warning wasn't given the seriousness that it really needed. As a countermeasure to possible seepage, the Bureau of Reclamation decided to weld a rock wall to surround the dam, but when the rocks cooled, they fractured. With an additional issue added in the complex design, the Bureau had to figure out how to solve the issue given the amount of time, money, and effort already invested into the project. Their decision: fill the fractures with grout, but there wasn't enough grout to seal all fractures, making the dam inadequate. Scientists have observed that decision-making in complex tasks are challenging, and decision-making skills are not improved with practice in a task. It's difficult learning in situations involve constrained workload and time pressure. Cognitive limitations such as the escalation of commitment are when decision makers are willing to make risky decisions because of the investment of time, money, and effort committed. The Bureau of Reclamation fell victim to this limitation, which led to the bad decision to design an inadequate rock wall.
So what you're saying is that money, time, and pressure force them into making bad design measures and risky decisions? I feel like there has to be some sort of communication error here. I mean, seeing as how so many people were killed and the late evacuation notice that was sent out like minutes before the collapse?
Other cause for the Teton Dam failure was the information extraction bias in the decision-making process. It has been stated that humans are generally conservative and do not extract as much information from other sources as they optimally should. In this case, the ones that did not extract the correct information for the treatment of the foundation materials were the construction designers. Because of a lack of communication between them and the construction engineers, the designers did not take into account the specific geological conditions when developing the structure. If the foundation material was treated adequately, the dam design would have been optimal for internal erosion of the core, and therefore no fractures would have appeared. In order to improve the lack of communication, engineers and designers should have had constant communication since the beginning of the design process, for example by setting weekly meetings between both teams, and also an inspection system by having someone outside of the design team look at the project design.
You just mentioned that there was information that the geographic conditions were too poor for the construction of the dam. Weeks before the dam, it was in the paper that filling the reservoir caused some problems and delays to the dam. Can somebody go into a little bit more detail about that or talk about why the engineers proceeded despite the setbacks?
This failure could have also been prevented by waiting to fill the reservoir for the first time. Although dam construction was delayed, the first reservoir filling was not. This caused parts of the dam to go unfinished and caused the engineers to rush any kind of decision-making. Delaying the first filling simply would have allowed for more time. This extra time could have allowed for more thoughtful decision-making, which might have prevented design flaws such as the use of grout to fill the fractures. More time could have also allowed for a type of test run before the reservoir was completely filled. This might have triggered the seepage and prompted the engineers to fix the problem before it became drastic. The dam was designed to include a low-level outlet structure, which aids in flow control. This outlet could have been finished if the first filling was delayed along with construction. This would have allowed for the gradual release of excess water when the reservoir filled more rapidly than expected.
Well, I think that's all we have time for. Thank you, ladies, for your time, and I hope that more people can learn from incidents like this. Up next, we have a track from Post Malone called 92 Explorer.